Welcome back to Edgework here on the Hammer Betting Network, a daily live NHL show Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Today is Thursday, April 6th. Day one of the Masters, final day of the Edgework show of this week. We have 14 NHL games, so we'll get into all of those here tonight. We'll break them all down. If you have any questions, if you have your own best bets that you're wondering about or that you've placed already and you're wondering Russ and So Money's thoughts, please make sure to send them into the chat there so that we can get to all of those and break them all down. But So Money, I was talking to Russ before we hopped on here about day one of the Masters, how excited we are. Tiger Woods tees off already, so it's underway. It's exciting, but is the Masters as exciting for you as it is for Russ and myself here?
No, really. But it's not. It's not for a lack of bets. So
Oh, sure.
we do have the bets in, but I I don't even know who half the players are, so I couldn't. I've heard about the big names and stuff, obviously, but yeah, I couldn't tell you what like a good matchup would be at all. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's
Although,
go ahead.
no, I was gonna say that during COVID, I did get into golf too. Like I was saying how I got into NASCAR. I
yeah,
started
I was
watching
gonna
golf as
say.
well, and like it was pretty fun to watch. But these days, I mean, there's just so much going on that like golf, I don't really get into it at all.
Oh yeah, I can't even imagine. Between baseball and you're probably getting into tennis and everything else. Golf is one of the other than NHL, golf is one of the few things that I do model. So this has been a crazy week for me. Very, very busy week. Got everything in last night and finalized last night. Got the card sent out. So yeah, now it's just like sweating out all these bets the next 4 days.
Nice.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun to go through. No show tomorrow, obviously. So while you're sitting there, you can watch the Masters, and then you can tune in to the NBA show that we have coming up live normally after the Edgework show, as well as the MLB show. Those will still be running. But today, if you are interested in Masters coverage, make sure to head over to the Hammer HQ around 1-2 o'clock, as Rob Pizzola and Jeff Feinberg will be going live, doing some live Masters coverage there, talking about the bets that they have down, watching along the Masters coverage. So make sure to check that out later today on the Hammer HQ channel. Make sure to subscribe to that channel as well as the Edgework HQ channel here. So we will get into all the games here today. But here's James WP saying hopefully he's still so money and not no money after betting the Masters. Well, maybe that's the case after betting the Masters, but not tonight after the NHL, after we go through this full slate and give out our bets and tail along with what Russ has been doing on his props, because this guy is on fire right now. Like, there is nothing Russ can do with these props that is just not hitting for us. So
I know, no, it's been a good start. It's making me focus on him a lot more. And it's like I was saying last week or whatever, I'm literally seeing some of my edges in the sides and totals evaporate. So I've had to pivot a little bit as the season goes on. And yeah, I think it's 6-1 on the props that I've released so far in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been great. Let's keep it going, hopefully.
Yeah, well, if you want to track all the picks that are given out on the show, you want to see how Russ's props have done, Todd's props, also Money's bets throughout the course of the year, everyone from the Edgework show. You can find that all in the BetStamp app on iOS or Android, as well as you can find it on web. You can find us specifically in the Find Better section as Edgework HQ and see all the picks we've given out throughout the course of the season. And the easiest way to improve as a sports bettor is using multiple sports books and always getting the best odds. We recommend BetStamp to do so. An odds comparison tool like BetStamp compares odds across every sports book for games, futures, and player props. You can save time and money by downloading BetStamp before you bet. If you are looking to sign up for a new sportsbook account, please make sure to check out the new offers available at betstamp.app/edgework. You can type that in, betstamp.app/edgework, or you could go to the link that is listed in the description of this video. All the signups that you guys add onto there help us out, help support the show here. So if you are looking for a new sportsbook, if you see one here today that you don't have, you see odds better than ones that you're able to get, make sure to sign up for those and use it with the link that we have in the description of this video. That is betstamp.app/edgework. We have 14 NHL games, but before we get into that, I will ask this really quick. I know, Russ, you're a little bit more in tune with college hockey than we are. If you don't got anything, you don't got anything. But there's a question here from Kevin Phillip. Any Frozen 4 previews or any bets you guys have for the Frozen 4 this weekend that you guys are looking at?
I mean, honestly, I haven't even really looked into it that much. I would certainly, if I had time, I would have looked into it if it wasn't Masters Week at all. So
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't have any opinion on it.
I'll tell you the only thing I'm looking for is Matthew Nyes to have a good game and lose so then he can sign and join the Leafs so that we can just get that out of the way and stop with the speculation. But that's about it for me in terms of the Frozen Four. So move on to the NHL games here tonight, and we will start with Russ's New Jersey Devils. So money is all Oilers, Russ all Devils here as we go into the playoffs. So Russ, looking at the Devils here tonight at home against the Columbus Blue Jackets, yet another big price here that we're seeing, minus 390, best price available on the Devils tonight. They are sitting in second in the Metro right now, 3 points back of Carolina. They do have one more game played than them. They're 3 points up on the Rangers now with the Rangers win over Tampa Bay last night, 5-4-1 in their last 10. Pretty good home team so far this year, 22-13-4. Would you be looking at a side or a total in this one, or would you be going straight to in the newfound venture in the player props in this game?
Yep, we are. We are going to start out with a player prop here, and I think you said some important things at the top of the show there about this game. The most important thing being is this Devils team is still very, very motivated to play, still very, very motivated to get a win. And looking at the price, I think it's probably right. But we've enjoyed playing player props against this Jackets team that just gives up a ton of chances. 32nd, literally last in the league in scoring chances. They are 31st in points allowed to right wingers, 30th in points allowed to centers. So there's a couple different ways you could go here, but the main thing that caught my eye was this Dawson Mercer over 1.5 shots on goals. Now this is priced, it's very, very juiced up, and I don't normally like playing something that's this highly juiced. But I just think this price is completely off on Mercer. He's been playing so much better now that he got moved up to that first line. And, honestly, this should probably be 2.5, minus 150 or so. He's gone over this total in quite a few of his last games. And, everyone else on the Devils is at 2.5 juice to the over, or even 3.5. Some of the bigger guys, Dougie Hamilton's up at 3.5. So I just think this is just a mispricing. And I'm not sure if they're maybe pricing him where he was, playing lower in the lineup or whatever. But since he's been on this front line, he's just been shooting lights out and shooting almost 3-4 shots a game. So over 1.5, it's a steep price, but that's the route I'm going to start the day.
All right, there you go. First bet of the day, first game of the day locked in already. Over 1.5 minus 185 that is available at DraftKings right now. There's some prices close to that, and if you're in Ontario, there's some that are like a cent or two better there. So make sure to check those out if you are in Ontario. But as for purposes of tracking across books that are widely available, minus 185 over 1.5. We will recap all of these as well at the very end of the show. So there you go. There's our first bet. So many. Do you have any thoughts on this Devils Blue Jackets game here tonight?
Not besides Columbus being so bad. The last 3 games they've started Hutchinson, Gillies in goal, Greaves. Maybe we'll see Mark Dinny or Steve Mason next. It doesn't matter. Like, this team is so bad.
Well, I don't know if they're going to go with this Jet Reeves kid that they started last game that actually played decent or what. Yeah, I had no idea. But
yeah, this team is so bad. I mean, they lost that a 7-0 loss to Florida was one of the worst losses I've seen all season.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. There's thoughts on the Columbus, New Jersey game. Quickly before we move on, Russ, you did talk about it there, but if you want to elaborate a little bit, JStone9 is saying, do New Jersey and the Rangers care about position? 3 points different. It's possible the Rangers could catch. Obviously, those are the two teams in the 2-3 spot here. So if they were to catch each other, surpass each other, that would change home ice opportunity for them. But even in that same note, New Jersey's still in a position here where they could jump and catch Carolina if things were to go right for them. Like, how much weight do you put on these final games, and how much importance do you think kind of goes into it for them?
Yeah, I think, the main thing I think is not where the Rangers are at, but where the Hurricanes are at and just how the Hurricanes are playing. I think the Devils are seeing this Hurricanes team that's struggling on offense, and they're slowly catching them and 3 points back. And, I think this team's motivated to win that division. So that's the way I'm kind of framing my thought process around it, is they're still in a position to win that division. So I think that's the motivation that they're playing with right now, and not necessarily thinking about the Rangers behind them.
Right.
Yeah, I think for like a young team like the Devils, home ice does it does matter to them. Especially I know a coach like Lindy Ruff, when he's going through the end of the season, he does want usually his teams do want to be playing well going to the playoffs. Whereas the Rangers, they were there last year in the Eastern Final. I mean, they know they know what they need to do. So I think the home ice would matter more to a team like the Devils.
Right. Well, moving on to the next game here tonight, we're looking at Pittsburgh and Minnesota. Pittsburgh, this one is going to have some massive importance for them here tonight, as they are sitting just outside of the playoffs right now, a point back of the Islanders and Florida. They got the same games played as each of them. They are 4-6 in their last 10 coming into this one. 22, 12, and 5 at home. Meanwhile, Minnesota, important for them as well. You're looking at them third in the Central. They are tied with points with Colorado and Dallas. Now, mind you, Minnesota and Dallas both have one more game played than Colorado coming into this one, but in terms of how it ranks out right now, but for points percentage, Minnesota is in third in that Central Division. 6-2-2 in their last 10 coming into this one. Russ, where would you be looking to make a play tonight in this game if you were betting on this one?
Yeah, we just I was sort of waiting on Pittsburgh's defensive issues and defensive lineup, but we did lock in the over 6 at -111. I think that over 6 at -115 is a fine price. Probably should be 6.5 even money, or 6.5, maybe a little bit juice to the under. Yeah, this is a fairly simple, handicap. I think the number should be 6.5. You're getting a Pittsburgh team that is very, very good on offense, opens up the game, but they're just terrible on defense. They've been rotating defensive players the last 2 weeks, the last 3 weeks, so it's hard to say if you'll get Ruda, Dumoulin, Petrie. It's hard to say which combination of those guys you get in there. And as they rotate all of these guys, it seems like, it just makes them worse and worse on defense. And they're first in the league in the last 10 games in expected goals, so they're getting their fair share chances. And then this Wild team is actually playing a lot more high event games. And my disdain for Marc-Andre Fleury has been documented on this show many, many times. And he actually has been playing better middle of the season, but I think recently he's come back down to earth a little bit, and he's a significantly worse than Philip Gustafsson. So if we did have Gustafsson here, I would say the price is about right. But with Marc-Andre Fleury and Pittsburgh's struggles on defense and just terrible goaltending, I think this should be 6.5. So I'm fine with taking the over here and hoping we get a 3-3 game and secure the win. But yeah, I think this should be a massive game, obviously, for both teams. I think this should be a great one to watch.
Yeah, it looks like we'll get Fleury in goal, and obviously he has been playing well better lately, but he is still a downgrade on Gustafsson. And as Russ mentioned, with the Penguins defensive issues, they're having a morning skate right now. It's optional, and it's just filled with defensemen. Like, they have like 40 defensemen on the ice right now. So it's anybody's guess who's gonna be in that lineup right now, but it doesn't matter. I have a tough time, even with them being at home, laying a number like that on Pittsburgh right now with the way they play defensively. And also Minnesota, the interesting thing about them is that we were kind of waiting for a offensive letdown from them when Kaprizov went down, but they are getting secondary scoring right now. So this is a team that is showing lately that they can put the puck in the net. So I do agree with Russ's overlook there. I think that that would be the only way I think to go after this game.
All right, so there you go. Second pick of the night's locked in here on the Minnesota-Pittsburgh game. And reminder, we'll break these all down at the very end, run through them all again, and recap every pick given out on today's show. But moving forward here, so Money, I'm wondering where you're looking if we're going to look at this Montreal-Washington game now. Obviously, Washington the other day eliminated from the playoffs officially. They are on a 4-game losing streak coming into this one. Montreal on a 4-game losing streak coming into this one as well. But somebody's streak must come to an end. This is like the opposite opposite of when you're looking at the beginning of the season. You got two high-powered teams, a couple win streaks going in, and they're looking at it. Someone's got to lose. No, in this one, someone's got to win between Washington and Montreal. Is there a side or a total that you might be looking to that catches your eye in this game?
Nothing catches my eye in this one. Montreal is in full tank mode. Washington, it's tough for like veteran teams sometimes. Um, Sometimes you get a team that wants to play strong ending the season. Other times you have a veteran team where the season didn't go their way. They're just like, screw it, we're done, right? So maybe there's an Ovechkin angle here. Other than that, I got nothing in this game.
All right.
Yeah, we got Toddy props sliding into the chat with.
There you go.
Alex Ovechkin over 3.5. There's Todd's pick for the day for this game. We're not going to track that here on the show, but there you go. If you're watching, there's Todd's pick for tonight, and I'll pull that up for you. Over 3.5, minus 135. Alex Ovechkin shots on goal tonight. But Russ, any thoughts for you in this game?
No, nothing here. I expected to see Washington a pretty heavy favorite. It looks like it is coming down a little bit, which kind of surprises me. But yeah, I'm right on market here. I don't want to get behind either of these teams. Obviously, a tanking Habs team and this Washington team's just trying to figure things out before the season ends, and they've just been playing terribly. So no play here.
All right, we can just skip this Toronto-Boston game, right? We don't have to talk about this.
Nice try, Zach.
Well, this one is my worst nightmare game here tonight, and I'll tell you why. There's only two possible outcomes for the Leafs here. They win, and the response after is, well, Boston obviously didn't care. They locked up the President's Trophy. It is what it is. This one doesn't matter. Or they lose, and then the response after is, well, this is a team that's not ready for the playoffs. We told you they can't beat the Bruins. So there's no winning in this one as a Leafs fan going into this one. But nonetheless, O'Reilly back in the lineup. Looks like we're going to get everybody going, all the big boys playing for the Leafs. There's some guys doubtful for the Bruins here, so we'll continue to monitor that unless somebody has some updates for us as we break this down. But it looks like we're going to get somewhat of a preview of what could potentially be a second-round matchup. I don't want to say that too early, but it is possible that could be a situation we see in the playoffs this year. And it looks like we're going to get mostly full lineups here between these two teams tonight. So, Money, where are you looking in this Leafs-Bruins game tonight?
So I'm operating under the assumption that Krejci and Hall are going to be out. I'm pretty confident in that. The Leafs obviously are getting O'Reilly back, and as you know, it's important because he does solidify the Leafs down the middle, and he does make sure that there's the correct minutes allocation for the guys who should be on the bottom six in that forward group. And of course, when you're playing the Bruins, you do need to be strong down the middle. So I think in terms of matchup wise, I think that the Leafs are probably in a good spot here. I do like them. I did bet them. We're seeing in the low 130s now, right?
Yeah, 132 best price available.
Yeah, I think we're good there. This is one of those games where there's some narrative that comes into here as well. You look at the quotes coming out of the Leafs camp. They do take this game seriously. Boston, they are taking their game seriously because they won't come out and outwardly say it, but reading between the lines, getting their all-time record is important to them, although they're not openly talking about it. But so the games are important to Boston as well. But I think that the Leafs match up well here, and we're going to be on the Leafs, Zach, and if it doesn't win, man, your phone's getting blown up.
I don't want to hear it if that's the case. I do not want to hear about it afterwards. My phone's going to actually I'm leaving it here. I'm leaving the house and I'm leaving it here on my desk, and that's it. I'm getting out. Russ, any thoughts for you in this game tonight?
No, we were chatting a little bit before the mics went on, and I was kind of curious who we would have in the lineups for these games. And so I thought that was a very, very, it was a good breakdown by So Money just to explain kind of the benefits of some of these players, because I think, that's super insightful stuff right there. So, I honestly, if you're going to get those, O'Reilly back and have those players missing for the Bruins, I would lean towards Toronto. And personally, on my numbers, there's not enough value to make a play, and there's just so much variance here that I'm going to take my chances other places. But yeah, I lean the same way, and I'll be rooting for the Leafs for sure.
Yeah, and this is just a rude comment here in the chat. I don't want to see this. Zach, can you discuss what we should spend our Leafs Cup future?
Yeah, that's
future
awful. That guy should be banned. That guy should be banned. Get out of here.
Great
Kevin,
job, Kevin.
Come on. Kevin, come on.
Gosh, that's the ultimate.
Well, yeah, if they lose here tonight, I don't want to hear it. As I told you guys, there's no winning out of this one for the Leafs in terms of narrative wise. This is a lose tonight, but it is what it is. You got to play the games, and hopefully at least they can come away with the win. I'd rather it be the win and, well, this means nothing than the loss and, well, they can't beat anybody in the playoffs. That's the best result, and best result for the show, best result for So Money. So we'll all be rooting for that one here tonight. Next game that we're looking at, Buffalo on the road at Detroit. Buffalo coming into this one 4-2 in their last 10. They did just lose their last game to the Florida Panthers 2-1. This team so far 22-12-3 on the road this year. Detroit now coming in with a 2-game win streak into this one, 5-5 in their last 10. Russ, you're taking a look at this game. Where would you kind of be looking at between Buffalo and Detroit?
Yeah, I am. I'm very much looking at Detroit, but I don't think we're not going to be able to lock it in because it's so dependent on the goalie here. And I'm not sure that we would get Devin Levi again. They went with him last game in Florida, and he just played awesome again. So I think this kid's actually a fairly good goaltender. But right now we have projected Eric Comrie, who is complete opposite. I mean, he's just struggled all year, 3.67 goals allowed average and 90th in goals saved above expectation. So if we do get Comrie against Alec Nedeljkovic, I would definitely go with the Red Wings here at plus money. But, this is one of those that you just monitor and kind of wait. Unfortunately, I won't be able to lock it in. I've been refreshing my phone all morning, and we've got nothing on Buffalo's goalie. So honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if either of you guys, what you think on who they'll start here. But this is a weird game where I think that Buffalo kind of is hanging it up after that tough loss in Florida. They're now 5 points back out of the playoff spot from the wild card. And I think that after that loss in Florida is just kind of a deflating win. I think, they're kind of out of it. And on the flip side, this Red Wings team's actually been playing pretty well. Derek Lalonde has got them playing very well. They've won 4 of the last 5. And, they're scoring quite a bit. They're 8th in expected goals on defense. So I think that gives them a chance to really be in this game. And I like the price if we do get Comrie. Unfortunately, like I said, I would love to lock that in, but it's such a big difference between Devin Levi and Eric Comrie at this point. So just monitor it, turn on notifications. If we do get a Comrie in goal, then I'll be on the Red Wings here.
Well, here you go. This isn't your Comrie Levi news, but I was just looking for an excuse to bring that back. Jordan Mosel here saying Husso first off the ice for Red Wings here tonight. So there you go.
Yeah.
There's confirmation on that end. But
yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, Tristan Jarry, it looks like probable, and Vanacek for the Devils. And so we're getting a few breaking news coming in.
Okay, there you go. They all can slide in together there. But So Money, is there anything for you? Any differing opinion between Detroit, Buffalo?
I have such a wide range of possible outcomes in this game here, and as Russ mentioned, it is goalie dependent. Husso was first off the ice in practice yesterday, so it wasn't the morning skate today. So I think that's something to keep an eye on. I think that Husso does get the start, and with Buffalo, I think that if I got Detroit as a higher dog, I would look into it, but other than that, I mean, I've got nothing here. Both these teams, Buffalo. They've been playing. They've been giving up a lot of chances. Detroit. I look at Detroit, or I was looking at Detroit a couple of weeks ago as an under team, and then all of a sudden they started giving up chances. So I mean, that's what happens with these teams nearing the end of the season. So I've got nothing here, and I don't want to get involved with these teams.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take a quick second here to remind people, if you are watching this show right now and you have not hit that subscribe button, please make sure to do so. Subscribe here to the Edgework HQ channel, as well as what So Money's got up on screen. Smash the like button. Take 2 seconds to hit that like button while you are watching right now. There's no reason you can't hit that like button. Help support the show, help grow it a little bit. So smash that like button as we continue to break down the rest of the games here tonight. But hit that subscribe, hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated for everyone out there watching right now. But moving on to next game, the Ottawa Senators on the road at the Florida Panthers. Florida now first wild card spot in the East. They are in fact tied with the Islanders for points, but they are a point up on Pittsburgh. 6-4 in their last 10 on a 4-game win streak. This team maybe has figured things out at the exact right time in order to just get themselves there, get into the playoffs. 22-12-4 at home so far this year, hosting the Ottawa Senators here tonight. So Money, is there anything at all intriguing to you about this game or any betting opportunities in this one?
Alex Lyon is going to get the start tonight. I definitely didn't see this coming from him. So good for him. He's this year's version of the Hamburglar. Let's see how far Florida goes. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've got nothing in this game except I'm kind of cheering for the kid now. Well, he's not a kid anymore,
Yeah.
but I'm cheering for him. So um, with Ottawa out of the playoffs, obviously that was a. I really liked our chances for that big ticket we had with the
Yeah.
Sens to make the playoffs, but now at this point, we don't know what we're going to get out of Ottawa. They're another one of those teams where there's a wide range of possible outcomes for them as well. So I like Lyon. I hope he does well, and it'll be a good game to watch, I guess. But I got
Well,
nothing here either.
on that bet that So Money's talking about, we had right when we talked about that, they had gone on like a 1-2 game winning. I think it was like a 2-3 game winning streak, but it was like they had just started to play really well, and then right after we placed it, they won a bunch more games, and we were like, we're in good position, and then it just fell off a cliff. And then I think that was when they went in that like multi-game freezer. Chikrin injured. Now all of a sudden you got Shabbat out, Brassard out. Like it just that was the end of that. It unraveled quickly for us there. That's what happened.
And it started in Vancouver, so another way
Yes.
that the Canucks got me this year too.
Yeah. Russ, anything you're looking at here tonight?
Nope. I think So Money broke it down well. This Alex Lyon kid is playing awesome. 4-0, in his recent starts, 4-0 this year. He's playing very well. He's given this Panthers team hope. This is kind of a spot traditionally where I would think about selling high on the Panthers. This seems like a very, very, very long line to me. But on the flip side, you got this Ottawa team who's just banged up on defense. There's like multiple players out on defense, as So Money said. So yeah, there's nothing for me here. No play.
Okay. Next game. I know both of you guys are looking at stuff here, but So Money, we'll start with you. The Islanders at home facing off against Tampa, hosting the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa coming off a back-to-back, having lost 6-3 to the Rangers last night, kind of burying their hopes at getting home ice over Toronto in the first round. For the Rangers, that was a huge one as they jump ahead a little bit further and try to catch up to the New Jersey Devils ahead of them in the standings. Now we're looking at the Islanders, where they're going to have a little bit more desperation in this one as well, holding on to a wild card spot with Pittsburgh just on the outside trying to catch up to them. The Islanders on a 2-game losing streak, looking to correct course here. At home against Tampa, would you be looking to back the Islanders here tonight?
Yeah, I did. I did bet the Islanders. The line kind of took off there. What are we looking at? Minus 128. Yeah, I think if you can get minus 128, I think you should do it because I think the line's going to keep going with once Elliott gets the official confirmation here. But yeah, Tampa Bay coming off a very physical game last night against the Rangers, and they're playing another physical team now with the Islanders, um, who do play a very disciplined style, and they have been playing that way for the last little bit now. Even though their last couple of games they did get away from that a bit. The other thing to note is if Sorelli left the game for Tampa Bay early yesterday, and I've mentioned before what I think that Sorelli does for this Tampa Bay lineup. He's the glue guy in that lineup where every team has one or two guys that get once they get slotted in, everybody else's minutes allocation falls into place. And when they're taken out, um, there's players that just play too many minutes, and that hinders the overall effectiveness of the team. So for Tampa Bay, Sorelli is that guy. If he's out, that's a very big loss for Tampa Bay. So that's something to keep an eye on. Elliott in goal. I did play the Islanders. Um, there's a big goaltending edge there as well. So I got edges all over the place on the Islanders here. So yeah, we're all Islanders tonight.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is one that we completely agree on. And I locked in the Islanders this morning also at minus 115 before it took off. I would probably play it about to minus 130 or so. And I think after that, you kind of maybe look at the regulation or the puck line. I think so many broke this down perfectly. Both these teams aren't playing great, but one team is in desperation mode, backs against the ropes. And, one team has one of the best goalies in the league, and one team is starting a backup goalie. So yeah, this Tampa Bay team, they're just not looking good. I thought they would figure it out by now, but they have been struggling. And then if we do get Sorelli out, I think, yeah, that's a massive, massive benefit for them. And, another thing to think about is I think this Lightning team might start to rest some players, and this might be a decent spot to rest some players on a back-to-back where, this isn't a huge game for you. So I think we could, we could easily see that also, which gives you, an even bigger edge on the Islanders. So I like it up to about minus 130 or minus 135. So, I mean, yeah, let's go Islanders.
All right, we are all Islanders here tonight. We'll lock that one in against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we will recap these all at the end as well, just a reminder to people. But moving on to the next game, I saw Dave Redling here saying, told you the Predators would win. Dave was big on the Predators the other night. Now, Nashville at home hosting Carolina. Nashville is 3 points back of Calgary, 3 points back of Winnipeg. They got a game in hand on Winnipeg, 2 games in hand on Calgary. So, I mean, the Dumb and Dumber, you're saying there's a chance. There's a chance, but unlikely still for Nashville to be able to push into the playoffs yet. If they're going to do it, they're going to have to pick up wins. Tough schedule ahead, including this game here tonight against Carolina. At home, plus 161, best price available for the Nashville Predators. So money. Is there any way you would have any interest at all in betting in this game tonight?
I can't believe we're still talking about Nashville as having a chance to get into the playoffs. As long as Saros is starting, they always have a chance. So
Yeah.
I've got nothing in this game. Saros will play today. Maybe he'll steal one. And a team like Carolina, they don't fill the net as it is. So if Nashville gets into a coin flip with them, like maybe, but it's not
Right.
something that I don't really care for the Preds, obviously. So yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to stop talking about them as having a chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I'm so sick of talking about this Predators team. It's like I bet on them and they lose. I bet against them and they win. I will capitulate and say, I was definitely wrong last week. That Vegas Knights game, despite the fact that the expected goals were 4.7 to 2.5 for Vegas. Yeah, this Nashville team is just unbelievable. They're like a cockroach, man. They just won't fucking die. Just constantly clawing back. Even in that game, like to tie it up in the third period. Oh my gosh, forcing overtime. Yeah, that was a tough game. So, yeah, I mean, the only way I would look here is Nashville. Unfortunately, I think if you're just getting that price at the live line, and especially against a Carolina team that does not generate many chances, I'm not going to have a play here. Nashville's still 29th in scoring chances allowed. They just have an awesome goaltender. I don't know. This is a frustrating team. I agree with somebody completely here. I won't have a play on this game. I hope that they lose so that they're out of the playoff conversation.
Yeah, and to highlight my my irrational hate for the Predators this year, I wanted to upgrade this sign, right? The Smash It sign. So now I was looking at like different things, and like there was like Smashville stuff, and I was like, look, like Like that's pretty cool. I can like hold up like a Smashville banner or something, and then it's associated with the Predators. It's like fuck that. I'm not
No,
gonna be here holding up a Predators banner.
yeah, no.
This is one team for me all year that's been funny going through the different shows because we obviously have different people rotating in Monday through Friday, and everyone is on the same page
Yeah.
about Nashville the entire year, every day of the show. It doesn't matter how you approach the games, what your like, doesn't matter. Everyone's been the same on Nashville, and it's been the same results. And like Jordan, even people in the chat here, like Jordan saying, "I hate the Preds with a passion." Insight bringing up like Nashville loses to Dallas, beats Vegas, and today against Carolina is a coin flip. It's like this has been where we've been at with Nashville all year. We come on, Moretto tells us how much he hates the Predators, and he says, "I'm betting on them tonight," and they get blown out. And then the next night we bet against them, and then like it's just been a gong show with Nashville. So yeah, hopefully at some point here we can just put the nail in the coffin and move on, and I don't have to come on the next show and say, well, Nashville's still sniffing around a playoff spot. We can just
no kidding.
move on from that narrative.
I think when I was chatting with Rob a little bit about it, I think he put it, in a pretty good perspective. Some of these teams, the analytics and the statistics matter a lot more as opposed to these teams that just have an awesome goaltender, like the Rangers and the Preds. Like their defensive numbers aren't good. Their offensive numbers are pretty average, middle of the road. But you just have one of the best goaltenders in the league, and night to night, that gives you a chance. So I think, we're all looking at the same kind of numbers. We're all kind of crunching the same numbers for our models. So that's why we all hate this Predators team.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, moving on to next game here tonight. Another team on a back-to-back, a team that we just discussed had just beat Tampa last night 6-3. The Rangers on the road at St. Louis. Rangers currently third in the Metro. It's 3 points back of the Devils, 6 points back of Carolina now. 7-2-1 in their last 10. 2-game win streak coming into this one. Looking at St. Louis, 6-2-2 in their last 10 games. And so money, sitting at plus money here at home against the Rangers. Would you be looking to support the St. Louis Blues tonight?
Yeah, so I did bet the Blues. I wasn't too thrilled about it, but this just like Tampa Bay, this is going to be a tough turnaround for the Rangers here now, going into St. Louis against a team in the Blues where you don't really know what you're going to get on a game-to-game basis, but with Buchnevich back and all this stuff coming out of the Blues camp here, they do want to end the season strong. And Berube, if you've looked back at the way he coaches and what his kind of philosophy in hockey is, he is the type of coach that is going to push his guys nearing the end of the season. And it doesn't look like that they've tuned him out or anything. So I think that we will get an effort from the Blues akin to like a veteran team that does want to end the season strong. So again, the problem with the Blues is their goaltending, although Binnington has started playing well recently. So I am on the Blues here. We'll get Halak in goal. I'm not as down on him as the market goes against him quite a bit, but he is still a downgrade on Igor. So I did play the Blues. I'm not crazy about it, but at that price, that's the right number to play the Blues. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. No, I mean, I completely agree with so money on the price. I didn't personally play it, but I think that, plus 150 is certainly, you have to wait. That's the way you have to look. This Blues team's actually been playing pretty well, 6-2-2 in their last 10. But the way I went is the over 6.5 here, minus 105 is what we locked in. It looks like it's moving a little bit. But I think that's the direction I want to go on this game in particular. Just a few things here. This Blues team doesn't generate a lot of chances, it seems like, but they do score a lot of goals. They're have 40 goals in the last 10 games. Their last 8 games have been their total goal scored have been 6, 7, 7, 8, 11, 13, 9, and 7. And then on the flip side, you're getting a jar of Halak, who's middle of the road, but he's no Igor Shesterkin. So, I honestly think this game could end up just getting wide open, and we could get like 9 goals here. So I like this over, and I thought it would be priced more closer to minus 120 or or even higher than that. So I'm happy to take over 6.5 at minus 106 here.
So Russ, how far would you play this one then? I see it sitting at, it is minus 106 available. We are seeing minus 110, 15, getting up to like some 20s in some different spots. Where would you be comfortable playing this up to?
Yeah, so I don't have a massive edge on it, so I would not. I'd probably cut it off at minus 120, and even that, gives me kind of a bad taste in my mouth. But yeah, you're honestly, if you can find a 7 that's plus 115 or plus 120, that would be the better way to go than laying the minus 120 or minus 125. So I'd say right up to minus 120, 6.5 over minus 120, I would play.
All right, so couple bets there in that game. We'll lock those in. We'll recap all of them at the very end of the show, but next one to look at here, the Philadelphia Flyers on the road at Dallas tonight. Philadelphia 5-3-2 in their last 10. They are on a 4-game losing streak, 17-17 and 5 on the road this year. Dallas second in the Central, tied with Colorado and Minnesota with 98 points, all three of them. 5-4-1 in their last 10. Coming into this one, 19, 10, and 9 at home. So money, is there a way that you play this one either way? Would you be looking at a side, a total? How would you go about this?
You could possibly make a case for the over, but it's not a game that I've got on my radar. So Dallas should be able to name their score here. So however they want to play this game is the way that this game will get played. So in those kind of scenarios, I won't be getting involved here.
Okay. Russ, anything for you?
Yeah, I don't have anything right now. Originally, I thought I might, and we're still on a little bit of a Felix Sandstrom watch, but it looks like Samuel Ersson just got sent down to the AHL, so that's just a sign that Carter Hart will be back very soon. I mean, very small chance that we do get Sandstrom. I think you could play the over 6. I think you could play Dallas in regulation, as you know that my disdain for Felix Sandstrom. But no, I think the price is about right. If we do get Hart versus Ottinger, which I think is what they're pricing in right now. Like I said, I think that's right on money. If something does change, if Sandstrom gets confirmed for some reason, I would look towards the over and even Dallas in regulation. I think Dallas still has a ton to play for. As you said, they're still tied with the Wild and the Avalanche. So Dallas should easily win this game. Yeah, I don't have anything here unless we get Sandstrom, which is a very, very small chance.
Okay, so nothing there for us. Now, next one, classic rivalry here, so money. Chicago Blackhawks on the road at the Vancouver Canucks. Vancouver's decided over the last little while they're going to try to close out the season somewhat strong, but then it took a dip. Now looking at a 4-game losing streak for them. Chicago 2-8 in their last 10. They did win their last game that they played. Vancouver laying a huge price here tonight relative compared to where they're at against Chicago. Minus 225 best price available. Is there any way you could support the Vancouver Canucks at a price like this?
Absolutely not. And I think that they were playing well for a bit there, but the injuries on the back end, they just caught up to them. They've got a couple of college kids playing on the back end, which is fine if you're starting one player who's right out of college in a game. But now when you're getting into a situation where you're forced to start multiple kids on defense, eventually it's going to catch up to you, and that's what we're seeing here. However, they're playing Chicago, right? And which, even though Chicago beat Calgary, which it's kind of mind-boggling to me still, but are they a team that's going to take advantage? Are they a team that wants to take advantage? So this is one of those games where, I mean, maybe you can make a case for Vancouver shouldn't be laying this number against anybody. So like, even if you get like a plus 1.5, maybe you want to look at that. But for me, this is absolutely, we're staying away from this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing here. I think one of the if you are kind of starting out or a novice bettor, one of the most important things in this industry is gaining information, gathering information. And you look at a game like this, and it's just completely void of information. I don't even know who's starting for the Blackhawks. I'm not sure who's in goal for the Canucks, if they'll go back to Delia, if they'll go to Demko. So this is just one of those games that there's so many different variables. There's so many different question marks in this game that, there's so many other games on the docket. There's so many other angles that I'm not sure, unless you had an insane amount of information or an edge, I don't know why you would touch this game at all. So no, complete pass for me.
Well, here you go. Here's how this one's going to be played by the people in the chat, and it's just because of the jokes we made so far this year. But Blackhawks -1.5, the big bomb banger for tonight. That's the way to play this one.
Maybe.
We are not all Canucks, turns out.
No, not tonight.
Yeah, and if you're hoping for the Hawks to get Bedard, I would, I guess you're cheering for the Canucks, or if you have the Hawks to be the worst team in the league, that. But other than that, yeah, I don't know why you would tune into this game.
And for the Canucks, we had the third coach in the last couple of years now who's called out the preparation of this team, right? Like that tells me a lot with the guys that are in the Canucks locker room right now. So yeah, I'm really I'm annoyed with the Canucks right now. So I'm watching my words right now.
All right, well, finally, a Western Conference game that I will be interested in watching here tonight, one that I think will be on a lot of people's TVs, and that is the LA Kings on the road at the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, we're seeing LA start to really shape up into playoff form here. The way they played against the Edmonton Oilers the other night, obviously losing that game, but that still had a massive playoff-type feel to it. You're looking at LA right now. They are currently sitting third in the Pacific Division, 2 points back, of the 3 points back, of the Edmonton Oilers right now, 4 points back of this Vegas team. I mean, for LA, trying to get themselves into a position here just to be playoff ready is probably most important, likely going to face the Oilers as long as the Oilers don't catch Vegas, but this is going to be important for Vegas here tonight to continue to pick up points and stay ahead of the Oilers, who are now only 1 point behind them. Where would you be looking tonight, Russ, if you're looking at this Kings-Vegas game? Is there any side total that kind of catches your eye?
Yeah, this is an awesome matchup here, and there's a couple of question marks that I have on my end for my model. It will be looking at, and it'll be very dependent on if we get Kevin Fiala back and if we get Mikey Anderson back for the Kings. Both those guys are scheduled to be back this game or next game, so they're probably a game time decision tonight. So I think you have to monitor that, certainly. I like this Kings team, but they have struggled a lot on offense recently, and they're really they're really slowing down generating chances. They're focusing a ton on defense, and I will say that their defense has been playing well, but in this league you can't win unless you score. I mean, I think that's a fairly basic statement, but this team has just not generated a ton of scoring chances. Even last game, they kept it close to Edmonton for a while, and then you just saw the Oilers outpower them, outskate them, everything else, and just put the game away basically. So I have some question marks here, on the Kings, going into the playoffs. And then on the flip side, this is a Vegas team I like against certain competition, against the Preds, against lower teams like that. But, this is a step up in class for the Knights. And, as bad as the Kings are on offense, the Knights are that bad on defense. So these are like two opposite teams who I have very, very, very close in the rankings. As of right now, I don't have a play on this. If we do get Quick and Korpisalo, I might look towards the over. But like I said, this Kings team, I'm not sure if you can play an over with this Kings team that does not score any goals and has a great defense. So as of right now, I will just be, I'll have this on a side TV, probably watching it for playoff implications. But as of right now, there is no play for me, unfortunately.
Okay. So money play for you in this one?
Yeah, but I think that what Russ said, if you don't score, you can't win. I think that's a T-shirt worthy.
Yeah, so we need to put that on a bumper sticker, put it in the merch section.
Yeah,
we're putting that one next to must win does not equal will win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think sorry.
I knew that was coming. I knew you were going to give me shit for that.
But let's let's take a minute to talk about the Oilers first, right? So
Oh my God.
because 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 this game does mean a lot to the Oilers. So um as um as a diehard Oilers fan, I do want the Kings to win this game because I would like the Oilers to win that division and get slotted against Seattle and have Vegas and the Kings play a 7 game series and beat each other up. But
Mhm.
for this game, goaltending I think matters right now. I did play the under, and I'm really hoping that we don't get quick. I like Brossois. I think that he's undervalued in the market. Um, and I do like the under here. So we're seeing, as you mentioned, Zach, we're seeing both these teams round into playoff form, um,
Mhm.
especially defensively. And we're seeing, especially with the Kings, their last in the last 2 weeks, they've played under games against teams that are already in the playoffs or teams in playoff contention. So they've played under games against the Jets, Kraken, Oilers twice. They even played the Canucks to one under. All right, so this is a team that is focused um, on on reestablishing their defensive identity right now, and it makes sense with the guys that they do have out on offense that Russ touched on. So
Yeah.
we know that this Kings team is tightening up. Vegas is trying to do the same as well, at least in the non-quick games. Like I mentioned, I am higher on Brossois. If this game was game one of the playoffs, this total would be a juiced 6, so a juiced under 6. So in what I consider to be a playoff game tonight, with both teams playing playoff hockey, a flat 6 is just too high for me right now. So I did play the under. I am looking to see if the Kings get any of their guys back. If they do, then I will have the Kings right now. I see that they did take some money right now, which is unfortunate. But
Mhm.
if we can get a plus 108 to plus 109 on the Kings, um, right before the news of their guys coming back gets 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 caught in the market, I think that would be the way I would go. But the under I've got for sure right now, and just hoping at this point that Quick doesn't get the start.
Right.
But let's go Oilers.
Oh God. Okay, we are all Oilers, as so money says. So every day I see, as soon as the show starts, it doesn't matter what happened the night before. So money's in the comments pretty early. We are all Oilers immediately. So
Well,
we'll
I
wait down.
well, at this point, it's become a superstition thing as well. Like they're like on this run, so like I can't deviate from what I've been doing.
Yep.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Not superstitious, just a little stitious.
Yeah.
There, so
Yeah.
there you go. All right, 2 games remaining here tonight. Arizona at Seattle and Colorado at San Jose. So we'll start with Arizona at Seattle. I mean, not much to say about this Coyotes team other than they're on an 8 game losing streak coming into this one. 7-24-9 on the road this season. It's one of those things we talked about where, so for some reason, they were just able to play at home in that college barn. They got used to that environment, that atmosphere, but on the road, never really pieced it together. 7-24-9. Now looking at Seattle, they are holding on to the first wild card spot in the West. Looks like they have a decent enough cushion there, 5 points up on Winnipeg and Calgary on a 2 game winning streak coming in here tonight. Minus 324 at home against the Arizona Coyotes. Russ, is this price a little too long for Seattle tonight?
Yes. Yeah. I want to, yeah, I'm not going to get involved with this game, but yeah, I think that 350, 325, that's pretty crazy. The Seattle team has been kind of struggling. That they've been playing really, really good defense recently. You know, like you said, the Arizona, the only way you're going to play on them is if they're a big dog playing at home in the barn. On the road, they're just terrible. But yes, I want to go on record and say this line's way too high. I think that fair market is probably minus 270, minus 280. But you know they're not going to get any bets at all on Arizona here, so I'm sure it's just completely juiced up. So yeah, I think this number is a little bit too high, but yeah, there's no play for me here on a Coyotes team that is obviously in the tank for Bedard.
All right.
Yeah, I watched Seattle firsthand in Vancouver the other night, and they are focused on tightening it up. I mean, Martin Jones only gave up 2 goals in a game too, right? So
Yeah.
so that so that says a lot about how how they're playing defensively. Usually, I would want to look at the under here, but with the way that Arizona is giving up goals, like I mean, do you really want to bet a Coyotes under right now? So, for this game, I'm out. Yes, and Seattle just won. They beat Arizona the other night, right? They won 8-1 or something like that,
Mhm.
right? So
7-1,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, 7-2.
yeah, so I mean, I've got no interest in this game, even though I think the number's too high.
All right. Well, I know there's going to be some people out there, especially watching the show, who might parlay together a little Chicago -1.5, Coyotes -1.5. Maybe that's the way they're going to go
At
about
this
it.
at this point in the season, why not? Like if you if you're getting an edge like that, like against a team that has a line like that in like with like a multi like high probability
Yep.
of that, I think that do it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, final game of the night here. Colorado at San Jose. Insight saying here, Jonas Johansson watch. If he plays against Kakinen tonight, do we play the over 6.5 -112? Well, I'll tell you where some money will be on the Jonas Johansson watch. We'll be monitoring that like a hawk. But Colorado on the road, all these points are going to be important. This is essentially a must win, but as we know, thanks to our friend Alex B. Smith, must win does not equal will win, and more of a must win in terms of separating themselves from Minnesota and Dallas, who also play here tonight and have opportunities to continue to gain points. You do have that game in hand, but that game in hand will only matter as long as you can continue to win for Colorado. On the road at San Jose, only seeing them at -225. Best price available tonight. The over 6.5, -112. So money. If you're looking at this one, are you looking to play potentially an over if you're waiting for that goalie news?
Yeah, I mean, if we get Jonas Johansson, you know that I'm going to be all over that over. Um, but I highly doubt that we're going to get him. I think
Yeah.
they have a back to back coming up this weekend, so I think that second leg of the back to back in Anaheim is when they should finally give Georgiev a day off, and that's when we will recoup all our losses from that
Sens
over
game,
that
right?
we had with the Colorado Anaheim game a couple of
Oh,
weeks
yeah.
ago, which still bugs me how that game went down. But yeah, I don't think we'll see Johannes. We won't see Johansson tonight.
Mhm.
Um, but if we do, I'll be on the over. Other than that, I got nothing here either.
All right. Russ, what are you looking at in this game?
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback off of that, I think it's a very, very small chance we see Johansson here. This is an extremely important game for the Abs, and I don't think they're going to take this San Jose team lightly, a team that took them to overtime last game. So I think we get Georgiev in goal here. But yeah, one way I am looking, I'm always looking to play player props against the Sharks team, who's just very, very bad on defense. 31st in scoring chances allowed. They just allowed 42 shots against the Avs the last game, and they're 30th. They're 30th in the league in points allowed towards centers. So there's one way I'm looking here. I'm going with Valerie Nushkinin over 3.5 shots on goals. He's hit this total over 6 games in a row, and I found that priced at plus 133. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's even going up. It seems like that number is a little bit rogue at Pinnacle, and plus 137. I'll absolutely play that all day. Like I said, he's gone over this total in his last 6 games: 6 shots, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, and he had 6 shots on goal last game against San Jose. Yeah, there. This is fairly straightforward. It just seems a little bit mispriced to me. Plus 137 probably should be even closer to even money or juiced to the over. So that's the route that I'm going to go. Yeah, just looking at there, comparing some of the 2.5s at minus 180, and I certainly would take the plus 137. No question at all. Yep, that's the way I'm going to go. I think this should be maybe a close game at the beginning, and then the Avs should handle him, and hopefully he gets plenty of shots, and hopefully we get like 40 shots on goal again.
Now, Russ, where would you play this to? Like, I'm seeing there are the 112s, 111, 110s out there. I'm sure if you have some other books, you can probably find a little bit better than those 110s and stuff going up
Yeah.
from there. But we did mention that 137 is a little off. Where would you play it to for anybody else looking out there?
According to what I've got in my numbers, I would play anything plus money at 3.5. The
Okay.
2.5 is a little bit trickier. Like we were talking about earlier, I think, that's probably not not worth talking about because it's probably too highly juiced. And I would always play that 3.5 if it's plus money. So anything plus money, I think the plus 110s, 112s are fine. Just like we've talked about multiple times, get a bunch of books, shop around. You can get 25 cents more if you have a Pinnacle account or something similar that goes off of Pinnacle lines. There's a ton of offshore books that goes off Pinnacle lines. So, like we've talked about multiple times on this show, have multiple books, use bet stamp, find the best odds, plus 137 over 3.5. I'll take that all day.
All right, so lock that in as our final bet of the night. And the final game of the night, there is all 14 games broken down. And just a reminder here, MH Albany saying Blackhawks and Yotes reverse money line is about 30
That's
to
crazy
1. So
shit.
there you go. There's your lottery ticket for the night if you're looking for just like a little fun play in a game,
That's
maybe
crazy.
a small bet on that. You know what? Honestly, I think that tonight might be a night where I'm going to do that. We got no show tomorrow morning. One of my buddy's birthdays, going out for that. So,
Live it
tell
up,
all the
Zach.
boys. I'll
Oh,
tell
yeah,
all the
man.
boys. We're getting on Yotes Blackhawks reverse puck line.
Yeah.
We're flipping it around -1.5. We're going 30 to 1s for everyone. That's
No
the way to
way.
play
Just
at.
play all of us. So money and nice plays, and you'll be way better off.
Yes, I would agree with that as well. But all right, here we go. Let's break down all the picks for today from all 14 games that we had. We'll go through those. The unit size, actually, we have full unit in all of these. So unless I otherwise let you know, then it is a full unit in each of these games. But I'll tell you the price and the bets that we have. So starting with these, we got Dawson Mercer over 1.5 shots on goal, -185 there. That's Dawson Mercer over 1.5 shots on goal, -185 in the Columbus, New Jersey game. Next, we have Pittsburgh, Minnesota over 6, -115. It's Pittsburgh, Minnesota over 6, -115. Toronto, Boston. We're taking the Toronto Maple Leafs money line +132 here. That is the Leafs money line +132. Next, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning New York Islanders game, and we are taking the New York Islanders -128 money line. The Islanders -128 against the Tampa Bay Lightning on the money line. Then we go to St. Louis, New York. We are taking St. Louis money line +150. That is the Blues money line +150, and then we are taking the total in the game over 6.5 -106 between St. Louis and New York tonight. Over 6.5 -106 on the total. Then our last couple of plays, we have the under 6 -103 between Vegas and the LA Kings. That is Vegas, LA under 6 -103. And final bet of the night in the Colorado San Jose game, Valeri Nichushkin over 3.5 shots on goal +137. So that is in the Colorado San Jose game. Valeri Nichushkin over 3.5 shots on goal +137. All right. Well, if you enjoyed the show here today, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, the Edgework HQ YouTube channel. We are live Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, giving picks and previews. As a reminder, we are not on here tomorrow. There is no NHL game, so we are not on. Enjoy your day off from the NHL. Enjoy your Masters viewing, your Masters bets. But if you are looking to bet on other things, later today you can find, coming up after this, actually at 12 o'clock, Call to the Pen YouTube channel with John Legeza as part of the Hammer Betting Network, breaking down all of the MLB games for today. You're going to want to check that out and be able to see all the picks that he's giving out. Yesterday, he gave out a home run prop right as the show was ending, +750, and within like 30 minutes after the show ended, that guy hit a home run and cashed that one in. So there you go. That's the kind of insight you get over with John Legeza from The Athletic on the Call to the Pen YouTube channel, breaking down the MLB games as well. Later today, this afternoon, on the Hammer HQ main YouTube channel, Rob Pizzolo will be live with Jeff Feinberg and I believe Clev TA talking about the Masters, doing a live watch along, breaking down the bets that they have, maybe placing some live bets. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to head over to the Hammer HQ main YouTube channel later today to check that out. But Russ, So Money, thank you guys so much for taking the time to do this today. I will see you, So Money, back here on Monday. Russ, I'll see you next week as well. We do have new videos coming out here on this channel talking about futures bets that were placed. Like yesterday, myself, So Money, and Alex B. Smith talking about little Bruins futures that were placed between the two of them. What went wrong with those? So make sure to check that out after this video, after the stream finishes as well. You can find that all here on the Edgework HQ YouTube channel. Guys, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Easter. Enjoy the Masters. And for everyone else, we'll see you guys back here Monday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. And to everyone, good luck on your bets, not only tonight, but this weekend as well.